This is K1DBC. All stations, please stand by. The Denver Radio Club Learning Net starts in 1 minute. Hello, and welcome back to the Denver Radio Club Learning Net for March 4th, 2026. It's a great place to learn about ham radio and STEM topics in Denver. And thankfully, we have plenty of combined experience and expertise. This is Kilo 1 Delta Bravo Charlie. My name is Daron. I'll be this evening's net control. Tonight, we'll be taking your check-ins, comments, questions, updates, and more. We meet every Wednesday except the third Wednesday of the month, 7:30 p.m. Mountain Time on 145.490 and 448.625. Both have a negative offset. You can also contact us via email if you like, elmer@w0tx.org, on most social media at Denver Radio Club. We'll also stream and archive some of our nets onto youtube.com/Denver Radio Club. So if you'd like to see behind the scenes of the net or visual context, that's an additional way to view the net. This net can be broken at any time for emergency or priority traffic by using the word break. Is there any emergency or priority traffic at this time? All check-ins to the net will be taken in alphabetical groups based on the first letter of the suffix of the operator's call sign. That is the first letter after the number in the call sign. If you can, please try to use IT phonetics for your call sign at least, and indicate if you have any traffic or questions as you check in. If you'd like, you can follow along with check-ins at w0tx.org/check-in. With that, we will start to take regular check-ins. If your suffix begins with the letters A through M, Alpha through Mike, please check in now.
Kilowatt, India, 0, India, Delta, KI0ID, Clan Aurora.
All right, this is K1 at DBC Net Control. We had checking in over the air. Clay, KI0ID, thank you so much for checking in. We also had Michael checking in online. Really do appreciate that. AF0SF, thank you so much for checking in. I guess we'll take all check-ins, A through Z, Alpha through Zulu. If you'd like to check in just for the count, or if any traffic or questions, all call suffixes, all call signs, please call now.
KF0 UUC, KF0 Uniform Charlie, no traffic.
All right, and that time we had Chad, KF0UUC, checking in. Really do appreciate that. If you're listening out there, if you'd like to check in to the Denver Radio Club Learning Net, just for the count, or if you have any traffic or questions, we're taking all call signs, all call suffixes A through Z, Alpha through Zulu, Please check in now.
Kilo Foxtrot 0, Victor Papa Juliet. This is Brett from Castle Pines, no traffic.
All right, Net Control would like to welcome and acknowledge the following check-in. Brett from Castle Pines, KF0, Victor Papa Juliet. Thank you so much for checking in. Got you loud and clear. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Before we get to the rest of the net, I guess, and our further check-ins, something we do not often mention, but you can actually operate if you're not in coverage of our repeaters. You can actually use AllStar Link, either from an Android or an iPhone. If you have an AllStar Link account, you just have to download the DV Switch mobile app for Android and Repeater Phone for the App Store. And if you connect up and connect to our node 42851, you can also key up the repeater via that way if you do not have access to repeater. So 42851 on allstarlink.org if you'd like to come in over the repeater. With that, we're taking all check-ins, A through Z, Alpha through Zulu. If you'd like to check in, A through Z, please call now. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. We had check-in online, K0BF Dustin. Thank you so much for checking in. This is K1 DBC Net Control. It was pretty quiet last week, and do appreciate everyone who's checked in here so far this evening. I don't see anybody indicate that had any traffic or questions. We're taking all check-ins, comments, questions, A through Z, Alpha through Zulu. Please call now.
0TX repeater.
All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control for the Denver Radio Club Learning Net. Again, I didn't see anybody indicate that had any traffic or questions so far, but this is an hour long, just general Q&A about ham radio and STEM topics, so we have plenty of time here. I can just kick things off with just some club business. Our roundtable newsletter was recently released. It will be coming out via email tomorrow, but you can check it out over on our website, w0tx.org. Let's see our president's message from President Kevin Schmidt, K0KPS. His message is, welcome to March. The meteorologists state that March is the beginning of spring. Meteorologically speaking, we can certainly use the moisture, and March and April are supposedly the snowiest months of the year. Still, they prefer rain to snow and don't have to shovel the latter. Let's see, the club has been busy behind the scenes performing duties to help the club better perform. Members have been up to the Meshtastic mountain, formerly known as Squaw Mountain, several times maintaining the repeaters there. Others have been working on the digital side of the house, improving website functionality and adding payment options. They can't thank enough those who for their tireless effort. So give them a thanks when you see them. Club is looking at scheduling events this year. We have Field Day on the calendar in June. Other options are Parks on the Air activation and operating during ARL's America 250 event. If you have an activity that we should explore, please send them to one of our board members. Our club meeting this month on March 18th will be hybrid person, both in person and virtual. Speaker Ryan Fredericks, WR7F, one of the Sunday night net control operators, will present on Meshtastic. This should be of interest to many hams. As usual, the in-person meeting will be held at the Lakewood Police Department, 443 South Allison Parkway, parking on the upper deck. They hope to see us there. So if you have a topic that you'd like to present, please reach out to president@w0tx.org. That's all for this month from Kevin Schmidt, K0KPS. All right, anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins, anything else so far for this evening's Learning Net? Please call now. All right, if you missed our net last week, we did stream it, so you can always check it out over on youtube.com/Denver Radio Club. Briefly just discussed International Marconi Day. Guglielmo Marconi was born on the 25th of April, 1874, in his family's townhouse in Bologna, Italy. Much of his early childhood was traveling with his mother and older brother. By August 1895, he had achieved transmission over a distance of 1.75 miles. Italian government, whom Marconi approached with his invention, showed no real interest, so he set sail for England in 1896 in June. That year filled with the world's first patent application for a system of telegraphy using Hertzian waves. Later that year, he carried out tests on Salisbury Plain. Plenty of more information, at least on one website here for the club. Call sign gx4crc.com/IMD as an International Marconi Day. So you can check that out on your own. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. I'll throw it out to the group. Comments, questions, check-ins, any recent projects that you've been working on, any recent news that you'd like to bring up, anything ham radio or electronics related that you'd like to bring up to the group, please call now.
This is KM4CFT, just checking in.
All right, Jonathan KM4CFT, got you checked in. Great to hear you.
This is Scott, KF0ELO, just checking in.
All right, got you checked in as well. Scott, call sign KF0ELO. Great to hear you in there as well. Anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins? This is about an hour long. We have plenty of time here still. Anyone else? Please call now. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. As mentioned in the introduction, part of the net, I mentioned as well, AllStar link. Although maybe not as popular as Echo Link, you can actually use it on an Android or an iPhone if you're not in state or you're not able to make our repeaters. AllStar Link, you can sign up on allstarlink.org. I think you have to provide a copy of your official record of your call sign. And then you download an Android or an iPhone app and connect in to our AllStar node 42851. And then you can use push to talk via your smartphone over our analog repeater. Anyone else, though? Comments, questions, check-ins? Please call now. Let's see some recent news over on reddit.com/r/amateur radio from about 11 hours ago. Post titled Indiana prohibits HOAs from restricting amateur radio antennas. So they have House Bill 1152 was just signed into law and prohibits HOAs from adopting or enforcing any rule that restricts amateur radio equipment, including antennas, towers, and feed lines. They put some commentary is only things that not 100% clear to them is if it's grandfathers existing HOAs or only applies to new ones. You could check out House Bill 1152 from the Indiana government about homeowners associations matters. As you know, ARL has fighting the good fight for us on that effort as well. I think some of the most recent efforts was maybe from September of 2025. Let me see. The Amateur Radio Emergency Preparedness Act. You can visit arl.org/HOA. ARL Grassroots Campaign. They launched aimed at securing the passage of federal legislation that would grant amateur radio operators the same rights to install antennas on their property as those enjoyed by users of TV antennas, wireless internet, and flagpoles. The campaign, announced September 17th, follows reintroduction of the Amateur Radio Emergency Preparedness Act in February 2025, a bipartisan bill, H.R. 1094 in the House, and Senate Bill S. 459, are designed to prevent restrictive homeowners association rules that currently prohibit or severely limit the installation of amateur radio antennas, even when such antennas are hidden in trees, placed in attics, mounted on vehicles, or look like flagpoles. Quote here is
0TX repeater.
From ARL President Rick Roderick, this legislation is about restoring equal rights to licensed amateur radio operators. Those restrictions hinder not only the enjoyment of amateur radio, but also its vital role in emergency communication during disasters. So again, arl.org/HOA. They also have a link for send-a-letter.org/HOA. Anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins, anything else so far for this evening's Learning Net? Please call now.
KM4CFT comments.
Yeah, Jonathan, KM4CFT with a comment. The net is yours.
This is KM4CFT. You were mentioning earlier about doing some projects, and not too much of a project, but I been reworking some of my station to make it a bit more, a little bit neater, and changed out my main base station from a FTDX10 to an IC7300 Mark II. Definitely a great transceiver.
Excellent. Congrats on the upgrade there. And the Shack, yeah, that's definitely one of the newer and more popular models of radio there, the 7300 Mark II, 100-watt HF, 50 megahertz SDR transceiver. So great looking rig there. So yeah, hopefully you've had some pretty good operations and usage on it. It looks like it has Ethernet on the back and HDMI. So yeah, very modern looking rig here. Very cool. Anything else on that, or anyone else on the Mark II? Go right ahead.
Yeah, for the main reason why I got it was, I was considering just getting the regular 7300 to play around with, because now that the Mark II's out, they're coming out, they're being sold like secondhand for like really cheap. But ultimately, the 7300 Mark II has something called APF, or the automatic peaking, auto peaking filter. It's useful for CW ops because basically is a very narrow bandpass filter that boosts that signal. So that the narrowness of your incoming signal gets boosted quite a bit. It's good if you've got like a weak CW signal coming in. And for some reason, ICOM does not advertise this as a new feature to it whatsoever. It's like you have to like know about it, or the only reason why I knew about it is someone else friend of a friend told me about it, and yeah, it's kind of weird that they don't bring that up, despite it being what I would consider one of the biggest CW features, because CW code's kind of useless.
Excellent. Wow. Okay. The audio peak filtering. Yeah, it's surprising they maybe not advertise that too well, but it sounds like, yeah, we'll enhance CW signals. Someone's saying here by boosting an error frequency range in the audio spectrum, which significantly improves weak signal reliability by enhancing SNR. Yeah, really cool stuff there. Yeah. So yeah, let us know how that works, and if you've been able to have better CW transactions than before, or anything else. Go right ahead.
Yeah, it's pretty much a standard, and like the Yaesu radios all typically have it. It's a useful thing to have, yeah, I'm just floored that ICOM doesn't bring that up like in their like they're like, oh, what's the difference between the Mark 1 and the Mark 2, and it's like they list all this stuff and they don't list the APF, and I'm like, that's a big thing. That's a major change, because that's something that most CW ops would take advantage of.
Excellent. Well, really cool. Really appreciate that. Yeah, it's great to hear about upgrades and whatnot. So yeah, it's and as you mentioned there, as newer models come out, some of the older models, if you will, slightly older models will go on the used market out there. So yeah, if anybody's interested in some radios, maybe look out on eHam or other third party or other retailers where you can purchase used radios. You might be able to find a bargain if this one isn't if this one isn't right for you. But yeah, very cool stuff. Yeah, anyone else on the ICOM IC7300 Micro 2 or anything else? Go right ahead. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Yeah, as mentioned, eham.net's a great place to go and purchase used equipment if you're ever interested in purchasing a radio. Looking at an ICOM IC756 Pro 2, looking at around $715. So it's probably HF 50 megahertz potentially. And yeah, you can definitely get out into the HF world without certainly breaking the bank, if you don't certainly need bleeding edge features and whatnot. And maybe if you do your research, you might be able to find some pretty good hidden gems. So yeah, anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins, projects you're working on, new equipment that you may have purchased, anything else? Go right ahead.
AF0SF.
AF0SF, I think I got you over on the AllStar node. Yeah, AF0SF, the net is yours.
Hey, thanks a lot, Daron. I guess I'm not SWL after all. Thanks to your instructions, I got AllStar link working on my Android phone, which has been installed and not used for 2 years. I had my account settings, and I just quickly configured. I went back and looked at the instructions on that page that you showed there, and seems that I'm getting out. So thank you very much for that. I guess you're another Elmer I need to add to my list. Alpha Foxtrot 0, Sierra Foxtrot.
AF0SF, excellent. Yeah, my pleasure. Yeah, it's always great to hear more people on the air, even if you have some restrictions of getting onto our normal antennas, repeaters, excuse me. So yeah, excellent. Yeah, excellent. So yeah, if anybody's interested, if you do a Google search for AllStar Link Android, I think there should be a page from the MSU Amateur Radio Club, msu.edu, and has instructions pretty simple. If you already have an AllStar account, you just have to kind of configure this up, and you're on your way. So yeah, it's excellent. So anyone else on that or anything else, please call now.
K1DBC, KD0DUJ. Hey, Daron, are you still taking check-ins?
Yeah, not a problem, Chris, KD0DUJ. I got you checked in. If you got anything else, go right ahead.
0TX repeater.
I don't have anything else right now for the net right off the top of my head, but if anybody's interested, Bofang just came out with two versions of the UV32, which would be worth a look at. One of them is just the basic UV32, and the other one's the DM32 UV.
Excellent. Bofang UV32 looks like a 10 watt HT. So yeah, that's certainly in the higher range of output power, which is also always great to see. Output power increasing from our handhelds rather than just the standard 5 watts. But yeah, great looking radio here. GPS, Bluetooth built in. $50. Yeah, looks like a pretty good radio to get. So yeah. If anybody has comments or questions on that, 2 meter, 70 centimeter HT, 10 watt output, GPS built in, wireless programming, pretty good looking radio here. Looks like it also has 220 megahertz. So yeah, tri-band support, really cool stuff.
Yeah, it is. And if anybody wants to learn how to program it with their phone, I'd be more than happy to teach on that.
This is Scott, KF0ELO, and that's something I'd be interested in learning to do. I've been looking at that radio and thinking of picking one up. I've never gone down the digital road, though, so I have no idea how to program them or even use the thing.
Net control DUJ, I'm going to go ahead and answer that one. Actually, they're very easy to program. And if you don't have software or anything like that, you can do it from your phone. But if your phone happens to be out of commission or something, it's very easy to program front panel as well.
That's great. I'll look more into them. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Not a problem. KD0DUJ, back to net.
Excellent. Sounds good. This is K1 DBC Net Control. Yeah, and on the digital one, multi-band DMR, the DM32 UV, price point of it looks like $75 to $90. Again, probably dual band with analog and digital DMR capability as well. So probably not too much different than most of the other Brandmeister or digital radios. But yeah, this is great to see as well. So yeah, anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins on the either the DM32 UV or the UV32 analog version? Go right ahead.
Net control DUJ with a follow-up on that. And also the DM32 and UV32 will also monitor aircraft frequencies.
Excellent. Yeah, airband transmission or airband reception. Pardon me. Airband reception is always a great feature and functionality to have built in, so you're not having to carry around a separate radio for airband reception. So yeah, it's great as well. Yeah, if you're interested in monitoring aviation traffic, another great option as well here.
The other thing I use it for, too, is if I'm plane spotting and I hear an aircraft emergency, I can listen in right on that. And if it's near an area where hams can hear the, if they don't have the aircraft frequency, I can always relay information over the ham radio. And that's all I've got. KD0DJ, back to net.
All right, excellent. Sounds good. This is K1 DBC Net Control, about to tick over to 8 p.m. Mountain Time. With that, I'll take further check-ins if anybody's out there listening in. We just had a check-in also online. Cecilio, I think, GMRS call sign, Whiskey Sierra Fox, Charlie 673. Really do appreciate that. Checking in on the YouTube channel. Really do appreciate that. Check-ins, we're taking all check-ins A through Z. This is the Denver Radio Club Learning Net, right place to learn about ham radio. If you'd like to check in, let us know your call sign, your name, and if you have any traffic or questions, please call now. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Comments, questions, check-ins. We're taking all check-ins, A through Z, Alpha through Zulu. Let us know your call sign, your name, and if you have any traffic or questions, please call now. All right, anyone else? We're taking, again, all check-ins, A through Z, Alpha through Zulu, or if anybody has any comments or questions or traffic, please call now. All right, let me see what else I have here. I guess some, again, recent news from arl.org/news from February 27th. Hams help forecasters with real-time data on the Northeast blizzard. A little bit of a lengthy article here, but just briefly skimming it here. Historic blizzard paralyzed much of the Northeast in late February, and amateur radio operators were on the air to help forecasters keep track of the storm's impact. Severe blizzard left its mark on southeast New England with massive amounts of snow, damaging winds, gusts to hurricane force, causing 350,000 customers to lose power. The blizzard broke Rhode Island's state record for snowfall with 37.8 inches. The area's skywarn nets across southern New England were activated with the call sign WX1BOX amateur radio team to support the National Weather Service for Boston Norton office. Let's see, they had nets activating every hour, every 1 to 2 hours, basis providing snowfall, wind gusts, wind damage. Let's see, the amateur radio Skywarn nets were active on over a dozen repeaters across southern New England, along with the New England Amateur Radio VoIP reflector system. Snowfall, wind damage, and wind gusts reports. Amateur radio net plan for Massachusetts was sent into Massachusetts Emergency Management in an ICS 205 report. Let's see, amateur radio received media attention on the Weather Channel several times throughout the blizzard. Jim Cantor said, when we get all these observation, it comes from Skywarn spotters and amateur radio operators, because when people can't communicate and the phone lines are down, the amateur radio operators are all they have. So the website, WX1BOX, will be updated with a post-blizzard coordination message at the end of the week. So again, arl.org/news. This is K1 DBC Net Control. I don't have a whole lot more this evening. Maybe just a random story of a piece of technology that I had in my youth. I can talk about that. But if anybody else has comments, questions, check-ins, anything else, please call now.
0TX repeater.
All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. In my youth, I was gifted basically an early PDA style device called a PocketMail. It essentially looked like an old school PDA device, built-in QWERTY keyboard and a small screen on it. It essentially just allowed me to send emails. The interesting part, though, was on the bottom of it was what's known as an acoustic coupler. And essentially, I could put this up to a payphone, dial a number, hit send on this device, and without any physical connection, it would send audio through basically the microphone of the phone. So acoustic coupling. Let me see. Acoustic coupler is an interface device for coupling electrical signals by acoustical means, usually into and out of a telephone. The link is achieved through converting electrical signals from the phone line to sound and reconverting sound to electrical signals needed for the end terminal, such as a teletypewriter, and through electrical connection. They can be considered an early method of acoustic data transmission. So, you'll have to check out, if you Google PocketMail. This was a device from the late 90s, early 2000s. Let's see from a website here. Wireless mobile data is extremely expensive or entirely unavailable. High speed. Let's see, this is when you're out in the bush or unfamiliar territory. Wireless mobile data is extremely expensive or entirely unavailable. High speed broadband, just a daydream. Say you're a corporate exec, you need to read and reply emails, and maybe you don't have an analog phone, mobile phone, or access to payphones or a hotel payphone. Or maybe you have one of those, but you don't have an expensive laptop. Come in PocketMail. It was a PDA-type device which featured an acoustic coupler modem, which you could slap onto a phone after dialing a number and upload emails over the phone. The PDA itself had memory internally to store emails awaiting transmission, and ran off of 2 AA batteries. Backlit screen, QWERTY keyboard. It was apparently nominated for top 10 worst products for CNN.com. Back of the box from 2000s. Let's see here. Yeah, not much more than that, but just a neat device. Again, the pressing the button on the top cover initiates the send-receive process, which involves trying to make a modem connection to the PocketMail server through the acoustic coupler on the back of the device. You dial the number, then hold the device up to the phone and push the button. The progress would be indicated with some LEDs. The back of the device, special flip-out microphone with adjustable distance to allow the device to adapt to different phones. The microphone has a rubber gasket, which allows the microphone to seal better over the speaker in the phone, allowing more reliable data transfer. Some throwback to some early 2000s, late 90s tech. All right, it's 8:08 Mountain Time. We're taking all comments, questions, check-ins, anything else so far for this evening's Learning Net. Please call now. All right, as mentioned, we're having our upcoming meeting the third Wednesday of this month, March 18th, in person and over virtual. It'll be on the topic of Meshtastic. I have my little Meshtastic node running, no external antenna, and seems to get out pretty far. I'm in South Denver, and I'm through several different hops getting up to northern Colorado. I've had some in the Cheyenne area, but lots of nodes out there. So if you're ever interested in playing around with Meshtastic, it's pretty easy to get into, and as you'll find out on the 18th of this month, you'll see how to get into that. So I'm just showing my device over the Meshtastic website, client.meshtastic.org. I am connected up to it through Bluetooth. And I'm seeing 203 nodes at the moment through several different hops, either directly or up to 7+ hops. Comments, questions, check-ins on Meshtastic or anything else, please call now.
KF0UUC.
Yeah, KF0UUC. Chad, the net is yours.
KF0UUC, Chad and Highlands Ranch. Thanks, Ron. Thanks for the net. Question about Parrot repeaters. I've never tried to use one. Is it possible to use one of these Denver area analog repeaters and hook that to a Parrot repeater? Just wondering where I could learn more about that and using a Parrot repeater. And like I said, only using analog. Thank you.
Great question there. Parrot, P-A-R-R-O-T, as in the bird, if anybody is interested. At least on the DMR digital radio side of things, there is a DMR talk group, 9990, which allows you to key up a private call, and it will come back, it will parrot back your test transmission. I am not sure something like that exists, or at least not here in the area for analog. I thought I saw something either through Echolink or through AllStar, potentially using one of those repeaters. You might be able to do that, but I am not sure on that. Does anybody know of a way to have a test parrot transmission, if I'm correctly understanding what he's asking there? Analog only, though. Anyone have anything on that? Go right ahead. This is K1 DBC Net Control. I think Echolink might have it potentially, but I have not tried that myself. Does anybody have further information on usage of an analog repeater for Parrot usage? Sending a test transmission and having the repeater send back audio to you so you can gauge what you sound like from an analog repeater standpoint. Please call now.
0TX repeater.
Great question there. This is K1 DBC Net Control. I'm just skimming. I think AllStar and potentially Echolink have that. So if you use an AllStar or an Echolink repeater, enabled repeater, like the one you're talking on Now for AllStar, I don't actually know how to manipulate the AllStar, or if it's possible to manipulate the AllStar group that our repeater is actually going into. I know via Echolink, you should be able to do that on our Echolink based repeater. But I have not had that question or information though. Does anybody else though? Comments, questions, usage of analog repeater for Parrot usage? Go right ahead.
KF0UUC. Yeah, thank you for that, Tyrone. Yeah, that makes sense. It's more of a DMR feature, but I know nothing about Echolink and AllStar, so perhaps I'll start there and learn a bit more about those systems. But appreciate it, and thank you.
Not a problem. Absolutely. Yeah, let us know how that goes. I might have to do some experimentation myself before next week's Learning Net to see how that potentially works. That would be nice to have. Yeah, it's a great feature of DMRs as well as if, as mentioned, if you want to know what you sound like and you do have a DMR radio, you can key up the Parrot Talk group 9990, send a test transmission, and it will repeat back to you. So, yeah, anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins? We have 15 or so minutes, 15 minutes or so left for the Learning Net here. Please call now. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. Again, over on reddit.com/r/amateur radio. A member comes in and says, after 3 years of fighting RF issues in their shack, they finally found and fixed it in an afternoon. The answer was embarrassingly simple, and they wanted to save anyone else the hassle. So their symptoms were key clicks on transmit, audio distortion on receive, computer peripherals acting weird when they keyed up, neighbors' speaker buzzing. What they've tried to do is use a better feed line, better connectors, adding ferrites, randomly moving equipment, ground rods, a second ground rod. And what actually fixed it for them was a single common mode choke at the feed point of the antenna, and a second one where the feed line entered the jack. So 2 chokes, each wound with 8 turns of coax on an FT2431 toroid, total cost of $18. The theory they finally understood was they didn't have a grounding problem. They had a common mode current problem. Those are different problems with different solutions, and treating one like the other doesn't do anything. Most RF interference in ham shacks is common mode current, not a lack of earth ground, they're saying here. If you have RF noise in your shack and you haven't built common mode chokes yet, start there before the fancy ground system, before the filtered power strip, before anything else. So common mode chokes coming in to save the day. Yeah, anyone else on that or anything else? Please call now. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins, anything else so far for this evening's Learning Net? We have another 10 or so minutes. Please call now. This is K1 DBC Net Control. Anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins, anything else so far for this evening's Learning Net? Please call now. All right, and if you are interested, I am just showing off on my screen here just a connection to my phone, a Windows built-in program called Phone Link. So I'm just able to show what's on my phone. Looking at just the Meshtastic app, looking at the long, fast room. If you've not used Meshtastic, just some of the common things is this chat room essentially called Long Fast. A lot of people will check in there, asking what their reception is and how people receive them. And so, yeah, if you're interested, again, Meshtastic. We'll have more on that again the third Wednesday of this month. This is K1 DBC Net Control. Anyone else? 10 or so minutes. Comments, questions, check-ins, anything else? Any recent projects you're working on? We have plenty of time here still. Anything else? Please call now. All right, let's see if I have anything else. Not sure. It's been pretty quiet here recently. Anything else? Let me see if I have anything else. Otherwise, we might start to wrap the net up. But yeah, comments, questions, check-ins, anything else? Please call now.
This is Alpha Foxtrot Zero Echo, Alex, checking in.
All right. Appreciate the check-in there, Alex. AF0E, thank you so much for checking in. Yeah, anyone else? Check-ins, comments, questions? Still plenty of time here, 10 or so minutes. Please call now. All right. I don't think I have much more. Yeah, anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins, anything else? Please call now. All right. Well, let's see. I guess briefly had KM4 CFT checking in earlier on his new purchase of the ICOM 7300 Mark II. So congrats to him on that, and great. Hopefully, has good usage on that, and it sounds like it'll be pretty good for CW with the. Let's see the. The built-in audio peak filter for CW signals. That'd be great to hear his experience on that, or anybody else. Let's see. Just some news from ARL. Again, AllStar link if anybody's interested in getting to our repeater, but you're unable to. AllStar link, node 42851. You can download an Android or an iPhone app, and if you haven't set up an AllStar account, have one set up. And then you can talk on our repeater. Very similar to Echolink. Again, Meshtastic presentation coming up March 18th in person and online. In person at the Lakewood Police Department in Lakewood, and online w0tx.org/meet will take you to the Google Meet link. Let's see if I have anything else. I don't think so at the moment, but we have another 5 or so minutes. If anybody else, further comments, questions, check-ins, anything else, please call now. Let's see, we also briefly talked about KD0DUJ. Chris had brought up the newer Baofeng models, the DM32UV, the multi-band DMR radio, and the UV32 10-watt multi-band analog radio. Great features and functionalities built in. 220 megahertz at 1.25 meter support on the analog version. Both have 10-watt outputs at maximum. GPS and Bluetooth built in, so really great sub $100 radios. Yeah, that's great to see. So yeah, anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins, please call now. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. This will be, I guess, the second to last opportunity for any final check-ins, comments, or questions. We still have another 5 or so minutes, but anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins, please call now. All right. Well, nothing heard. I'll put out, this will be the final opportunity. Last opportunity for check-ins, comments, questions. Anything else so far? Please call now. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Again, as mentioned, our roundtable newsletter is available on our website at w0tx.org. Can't thank enough AD0UZ, Brennan Pate, and Bill Rinker, W6OAV, for their constant contributions to the newsletter. Some blast from the past by Woody Linwood, W0UI, a photo from fall 1983. Of the original Denver Radio Club GE Progress Line 147.33 repeater being replaced by the Motorola Motrack system, and the garage of Les Carey K0PGM. So a nice throwback photo blast from the past on that. Some question of the month is why is the Doublet so easy to tune and as to install and tune? The answer can be found on page 7 of the February 2024 issue of the Roundtable. Let's see here. Let's see just a little bit. How do doublets work? Secret is the use of ladder line, often called open wire. Article listed as reference details depth how doublets work. In summary, the tuner, ladder line, and the antenna operate as a resonant system. The tuner will get all the power from the transmitter into the ladder line feeder. The ladder line feeder, with virtually no loss, will get all the power to the dipole, and the dipole will radiate that power. Mismatches in the system will cause some reflections, which will reinforce the outgoing power. So plenty more from the 2024 February edition of our roundtable on that. Ground wave propagation, back to our most recent newsletter. Again, the monthly DRC meeting. Join us on the third Wednesday of the month, 11:30 a.m. for the Lunch at Sunrise Sunset in Lakewood. More information on our website as well. I guess this will be the final opportunity for check-ins, comments, questions. Last minute for our net. Please call now. All right, well, nothing heard. Start to wrap the net up then. We had a total of 11 check-ins this evening. Can't thank enough everyone who checked in and anyone who's just listening in. We'd like to thank everyone who participated, especially Elmers. Thanks to the Denver Radio Club for allowing us to use the repeater for this net. Join us on the third Wednesday of the month at 6 p.m. for an Elmers session prior to the regularly scheduled Denver Radio Club meeting at 7 p.m. This month, again, hybrid, in-person and online. W0tx.org for more information on that. Licensed or not, everyone is welcome. A member or not as well. With that, please join us next week, 1930 hours Mountain Time, 7:30 p.m. for the next Learning Net. With that, this is K1DBC Net Control 7.3 to all, and I will be clear. Have a good evening. Thanks everyone for joining us here on the YouTube. Can't thank you enough for checking in, and we'll see you all the next time. Have a good one.